Today I was in a workshop, a full day workshop from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. on singing, prayer, silence, and which goes deep, just to sing it goes into this like deep childhood wounds of maybe being shamed for singing or speaking up or using our voices, or it's big. It brings up a lot actually. And this afternoon we were working on, our bodies are an instrument, and we're just air. And when we sing, it's just air we're hearing. So we worked on this theme of breath work, and breath work is a very powerful tool where there's clarity breathwork sessions, and there's these two facilitators that hold such a safe space, and they take it, they practice it, they live it. They're so good at what they do, and it's just simply like a breathing technique, very, very simple, that gets you to an elevated state where you literally release like crazy things that need to come up, like things just like deep down are uncovered, and people yell, scream, cry. They may feel bliss. It's all emotions and everything. And I didn't know what was going to come up, but it was like maybe a 2-hour group breathwork session. So there was 30 of us there. The power of the group and the music and the music was just really profound in the journey of it all. And so I went into it, and I went deep into immediately. I did even a couple breaths, and my body knows breath work already. And I went deep into grief, sadness, deep grief and sadness, which is pretty rare for me actually. I don't tap into that very often. And darkness. I always try and be happy and nice, and I'll push down emotions, and I rarely will go to that darkness and that sadness. And I was really rattled. I needed to kind of be in silence for the rest of the day. And grief of loss. My heart is broken, and the process of separating from this man who I absolutely adore. My brain is fighting a lot because I just adore him so much, but my heart, and his heart, is saying we need to not be together. But it's still a big fight, and a deep, deep sense of loss, and sadness, and kind of going into, and that's the point of often we think that we need to be happy and everything good and make ourselves feel better. But, my yoga teacher said, no, if you want to one day tap into whatever, victimhood, a lot of people, victimhood, poor me. Well, spend a day, sit in bed, cry all day, maybe not watch TV, but be in that victim, really go all into that darkness. And instead of always kind of pushing it down, it needs to come up. Breathwork brings things up. So I kind of let myself go there into that victimhood, the hopelessness that I'm currently feeling in my life, which is very unlike me, because when I was with my partner, I was so excited about life. I was so excited about my future with him, and about the projects we were going to create together, and just being around him. And I was so excited for that. And so to have that stop and cut, it's the grief of my dream life, my future plans, my idea that I had for myself. So just the grief and darkness and the loss of all of that, really going, okay, I'm in a huge battle between my brain and my heart right now. My heart knows what it wants, and his heart knows what it wants. But his head is very clear, but my head is still fighting, and the fighting the ego, it's fighting the desires, it's fighting the fear of being alone, it's the attachments that I have to him. And so I just let myself be in that darkness and allow it, let it come up, go there, access it. And when I went there in the breath work, I was able to come out and feel levels of deep peace. And I don't think I would have been able to access that if I didn't come out and have that deep peace, or I wouldn't have been able to feel that deep peace without going there. So yeah, it's just such an unexpected every day. I don't know what the theme will be. And the theme of the day was, grief, sadness. And just to be okay with it, to accept it. Our emotions are like the weather. In the morning it's sunny where I currently am. In the afternoon it's raining. At night it's thunderstorms. And I don't judge it. It's just the flow of the weather. And I don't need to judge my emotions too and my thoughts. I just have to remember to go back to my heart when my mind is playing crazy tricks on me, which it has. And most people don't even have a chance to feel their heart. So they don't know what their heart's saying. They're in a very, very, very busy environment, loud. They don't even feel their heart, or feel their heart beat, or know what their heart wants to tell them. And so I come to a place, this quiet retreat center in the jungle, to feel my body. My body has so much wisdom and so much knowledge. If I just listen to it, everything is fine and good, and all of the synchronicities that have happened in the last, couple of weeks here have been so magical. To remember that magic and to not get into my head of trying to plan my life and plan my future and feel hopeless for the future. To bring myself back to focusing on my heart, breathing, dancing, prayer, breath. It's these basic things that can bring me back to my body, bring me back to the moment. Because the moment I'm in a blissful paradise, but I have two choices. I can create hell on earth for myself, or I can create heaven on earth for myself. I'm just in this between right now of what I'm creating. Some moments it's heaven, some moments it's hell. And also not judging that, accepting that that's where I currently am. Maybe having even compassion, giving myself a hug, asking for a hug. I rarely did that, but here is a place where, there's a lot of hugs. We can give hugs. So, yeah. So I encourage you to take a moment. You need to create space to drop into their heart, to feel any sort of grief. Or maybe you don't even know you feel grief. I didn't realize I felt that much grief until I took an hour or two out of my day and dropped in and really was with it. So I encourage you today to take a moment, see where there's sadness in your life. Maybe there's different areas. Maybe you have a passionate relationship, but your relationship with your mother isn't ideal. Or, financially you're very good, but you have grief in not feeling fulfilled at work. Like there's so many. Or you love your body. Your body is so beautiful, but you're fighting an illness. There might be grief in so many areas of our life that we don't even know. And we can't know it until we sit and drop into it and allow ourselves to feel that darkness and grief.